Can we have a heart to heart? I need to have a heart to heart conversation with you because we are in shifting economic times. We are in a very exciting time, but there's a few prerequisites that have to happen for you to reap your rewards from this exciting time. And I'm going to touch on your heartstrings. It's going to get like I'm going to be pricking some of your fears, some of your insecurities. It's okay. Let's take a deep breath, because we are going to stop the bottlenecks in your life in this video. Watch until the end. Like and share it if you find value in it. But we need to talk about the F word. We need to talk about fear. Fear, fear. The fear that is crippling you, this fear of being seen, that you don't want to show up on camera. You don't want to talk about your convictions publicly in your industry. You won't even talk about the things that you have obtained for your clients or what you've obtained in the workplace. We've been working with entrepreneurs who are 25 years in their industry, 10 years in their industry, 5+ years in their business. But the same thing across everybody we work with, who are all African Americans, or they're Africans who moved to America, or Africans who moved to Canada or to the UK. Everyone's thing is fear, and I know exactly where it comes from. It comes from corporate. It comes from healthcare. It comes from engineering. It comes from all of these industries. It comes from academia, because you've been systematically taught, and this is literally what systematic racism looks like, okay? You've literally been belittled to the point where you don't even believe in yourself anymore, but you are free to borrow my belief, because I see goodness in you. I see talent in you. I see gold in you. I see silver, rubies, gems. You are the entire table and then some. You are the bag that corporate America needs. That's why they hire you in those positions and keep you there for decades. You're the one who is operating those standard operating procedures. You're the one who thought of that new process that the company was so excited, congratulated you on, threw you a little party in the little workspace room, and everybody said, yes, you did it. But then you didn't really get the credit for it, because you didn't get any pay raise. You didn't get any extra freedom, any extra stocks, any extra anything for this process that you created for a multi-million billion-dollar corporation. I see you. I see you. I hear you. I understand, because that to me is diabolical. But as always, our community has been known to pick themselves up by their bootstraps. You know, I was listening to a documentary about South Africa, and I'm going to listen to another one about Ethiopia. I love these documentaries that our community does. I'll try to leave some at the link in the description or share them somewhere else. But this documentary about South Africa, that I had no idea that our people in South Africa went through slavery in the 1600s to the late 1800s. The same way we did in America, the 1600s to the late 1800s, that same systematic racism that has tricked our people into thinking that we're not worth anything, and that matriculates and manifests itself by you not being willing to show up online, because you're just waiting for perfectionism. You're waiting until you have the perfect makeup set on. You're waiting until you have the perfect office suit clothing. You're waiting for the perfect podcast microphone. You're waiting to take out the perfect 100K business credit line. You're waiting for the perfect whatever it is. And it's like, stop. You are worthy as it is. Like, your worthiness is not tied to what you do in business, what you do in corporate, what you do in your industry. And more than that, what you're called to do from a godly standpoint cannot be tied to any human. I don't care what human it is. I don't care if it's somebody in corporate America. I don't care if it's somebody in healthcare. I don't care if it's your neighbor down the street. I don't care if it's your frenemies. I don't care if it's your church. I don't care if it's the boot camp and organizations you've been a part of that are putting a cap on you. Because when we work with people and when we talk to people, we want to amplify you to your highest potential, because that's what is awake inside of us. And so I don't care what it is, who's been telling you. I don't care if it's your cousin that is secretly envious of you, you know, your boss that's envious of you, some elders, some youngers, some middle agers, some whoever agers. I don't care if it's your children. Okay? Whoever it is that isn't understanding what the Most High put in you and is not in support of that calling, cut it off or limit their capacity to speak to you in a specific way. That's something my husband and I have been talking about so much because we've managed to limit people that were toxic to our calling as a family unit. And that literally matriculates into everything that we do in business, in life, and working with our clients so that we have this high energy so that we can show up and be authentically who we are called to be day in and day out, because toxicity has a limit. And really, toxicity doesn't even need to be there. It's like, would you just take little doses of poison if you know it's poison? Would you just keep and say, okay, I'm just going to keep drinking this poison because I'm used to it? Like, no, at some point the poison has to be cut off because your legacy is going to have to reap the rewards that it's been called to reap. Your lineage is going to have to operate in what you've been called to operate in. You're going to have to make the hard decision to say, you know what? I'm willing to be uncomfortable. I just spent, 100K, 200K, 300K, 400K on student loans. But a lot of times when we just think about investing $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in ourselves for our business professional development, we're like, no, I can't do that. We only feel good spending big amounts of money on student loans, on cars, and on mortgages. But when it comes to the highest revenue that you can receive back in an investment vehicle, i.e. your business, then you're like, no, I can't do it. But if you could guarantee that you would give back 63% year on end over and over and over and over, then would you invest in that thing? Like if I came to you today and I met you in a coffee shop and I was like, hey, how's it going? Are you interested in investing? What do you know about stocks? What do you know about crypto? What do you know about this? What do you know about that? Well, I have something new that you can invest in with guaranteed returns over a 5 to 10 year time span, where you are guaranteed to get at least 32% back on average year after year. But some of our clients have gotten back 63% average year on year into this investment vehicle. You would obviously be like, okay, what is it? Come closer. Tell me about it. What is it? What is it? Bro, sis, it's your business. It's you. It's your industry expertise. It's you, HR professional. It's you, nurse practitioner. It's you, functional medicine provider. It's you, massage therapist. It's you, engineer. It's you, electrician. It's you, relocation consultant. It's you, finance consultant. It's you, government contractor. It's you, education consultant. It's you. You are your biggest investment. And that's why they want to keep you capped like that. They want to keep you low so that you never elevate, because they want to reap the benefits of having you. Like if you're employed, obviously your employer knows obviously these corporations know if they can keep you at a lower rate, making $20 an hour, $30 an hour, having all of your time devoted to them, 40, 50, 60 hours a week to make ends meet. They know that they can do that and capitalize off of you over and over. And you wonder why you're stressed. You wonder why you're flustered. You wonder why you can't think straight. You wonder why you feel out of alignment. But this is an embodiment of what alignment looks like. When you're unafraid to show up on camera, when you're unafraid to speak your opinion publicly, when you put firm boundaries in a business setting, in a career setting, and say, hey, this is the most that you're going to get out of me. Right now, you're crossing a line. And making that clear in business and family and life and friendships and everything that you do, because you cannot allow toxicity to destroy your vessel anymore. This vessel was called to do higher things. And guess what? Those folks that want to say all the things about you or want to put you down, or those microaggression folks at work, they weren't there when the Most High called you. They weren't there when he whispered inside of you and put you together like a pot of clay on a potter's wheel and molded you and breathed life inside you and said live, and then whispered to you what you would go on this earth to accomplish and do. It's written in the book of Job, who can say to the Most High, why did you make me thus? So even more so, who can say to the Most High, why did you make him or her like that? Why did you choose to favor that vessel and give it this ultimate power and authority and all of this favor and all of this grace and majesty? Why would you put your glory in that vessel? That's the Most High's business. Newsflash, tell the folks, tell the microaggressors at work, play this for them. That's the Most High's business, what he wants to put in you. And it's your call to be obedient. It's your call to be unafraid of the calling. That's what obedience is, being unafraid of the calling. And part of being unafraid of the calling is letting go of these people pleaser mentalities where you will literally spend your life saving, spend your entire life getting into crazy amounts of student loan debt. But when it comes to operating a business, when it comes to investing in your professional development, and yes, doing something that's quote unquote difficult, yes, it's uncomfortable. If you know you don't like to show up on camera, I used to be like that. I say that all the time. Before 2020, I hated showing up on camera. Like legitimately, I hated it. I used to despise it until I had to come to the realization the Most High showed me, I'm not going to be able to move in you unless you speak. I literally had a girl DM me on my Instagram back in 2021, maybe 2022. And she just randomly said, popped in my DM, shalom, shalom, how are you, whatever. And she said to me, the Most High says that you have to speak. And I was like, speak? Who? I'm a writer. I'm not a speaker. And it's like, why would you try to cap the Most High's abilities in yourself? You are a vessel to bring him glory, to show his people how to live a more abundant, beautiful life, how to live a faith-filled life. Yes, that includes your career. Yes, that includes the workplace. Yes, that includes your business. Yes, that includes investing. Because do you think that he called you and anointed you and appointed you and put all of this goodness in you by accident? Did he accidentally have you master sales in your sales organization? Did he accidentally put you at the top position in HR at that Fortune 500 company? Did he accidentally grace you with the scholarships and the ability to get a master's degree in healthcare or whatever it is? Did he accidentally have you lead over the mortgage department? Did he accidentally have you get into the top product manager, project management position? In vain? I don't know about y'all, but that's not the Most High I serve. The Most High Yah that I serve, he doesn't do accidents. He's very intentional with each and every intricate piece of your journey, each and every intricate detail. And I have a scripture for you to back that up. He says, I count all the hairs of your head. Now, how intricate is that? If you just like think about this for a moment, for a creator that has created billions and billions of people, but he says, I've numbered the hairs on your head. Like if you have children, you know, if you're doing your child's hair, can you count all the hairs on your child's head? Now, we love our children, but I've never sat down to count all the hairs on my child's head. So that's the Most High saying to you how much he cares for you and how intricately he looks at you and decides to put blessings and giftings and all these things in you, not for you to pimp out your knowledge and your abilities and your energy to corporate America, but for you to build for yourself and for your people. Okay? Because the scripture says you should love your neighbor as yourself. But if you don't love yourself, if you don't care for yourself, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, how could you possibly do so for your neighbor? Right? So let your business be an example of the Most High's giftings and love towards you. It's your due diligence and your duty as someone who is called to a leadership position in your industry or in a specific country, whatever that is for you. You're called to a leadership position, but you need to actually package everything correctly, care about what you're doing just as intricately as the Most High looks at you. You need to take inventory of your own talents and gifts like that. That's the work that we do inside of Black Educators Amplified. That's the work that we do in our marketing agency. And by the way, 80% of our clients to date over a 9-year time span have been Black-owned entrepreneurs that did not have the marketing knowledge and storytelling know-how, that then walk away with supreme confidence in their offers in a way that they can not even articulate. They're like, I was confused about how to even accomplish this. But you put it so clearly now. Now I have a clear roadmap on the Black Educators Amplified side. On the agency side, entrepreneurs that hit multi-millions of dollars in record time, in a quarter, in 2 quarters, in a year, in 2 years. Why? Because of storytelling, because of copywriting, because of empathy-driven narratives, because strategic communications. And so I beg you not to just put yourself on the back burner. just for the sake of our community. If you can't do it for you, do it for the people who are later going to be attached to your legacy that need your project management abilities. There are people out there that need you to bottle up this curriculum and serve other African businesses. Because if you haven't noticed, our community is all we got is Africans. Both African diaspora and continental Africans, and people who are so separated from the continent, but they're melanated, but they don't think they're African, including those people as well. Because notoriously over time, we have had to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and we do it every time, and we do it every time, and we do it every time. And it has to be done so that we can leave something behind for our children's children that isn't stress, debt, and turmoil and drama. Instead of stress, debt, turmoil, and drama, how about we leave them peace, stability, freedom, and wealth? Peace, stability, freedom, and wealth. Man, I hope you understand this message. I hope this message resonates with you on a deeper level, because it's time to play at a higher game. The last thing I want to leave you with is I've been toying with this idea of like some of these trends they have on social media, okay? Soft girl life, not doing Black excellence, not, working, not figuring things out, just being like, oh, I just want to be soft all the time. I just want to give up now, and I just want to give in. And it's like, no. Like, no. No. And I know that doesn't resonate with everybody. That only resonates with the remnant. That only resonates with people who are called to leadership positions, because when you're called as a leader in whatever right it is, you don't have the privilege and ability and the audacity to dare say to the Most High, no, I'm not going to do any more of what you put in me. No, leaders, we can't do that. That may be cool for followers and the other folks, no shade. That may be cool for people that are going to work a W-2 for their entire life, no shade. But those of us who are called to a higher position, called as leaders, called to serve, even as healers, even if you have a herbal course, a functional medicine course, right? We had a client go through cohort number 4. Oh, I looked at her YouTube channel. It's giving, okay? She followed all the steps. So proud of this client, okay? She had just sent her YouTube channel over, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I was just like, yes, she's doing it. Like, fantastic. We sat down, looked at her work history, looked at everything she's accomplished, looked at everything she wants to do for her healthcare agency, okay? Her functional medicine firm that she wants to open up in Kenya, okay? And so we structured her packages, and she was like, okay, it's starting to make sense. I can do complete blood counts and give that service to my clients, read the results to them, let them know what they need to do on a week-by-week basis for a timeline of 12 months for people who are perimenopause and in the menopause stage. Now that's niche down, that's specific as heck. This is the kind of leadership that we need to see in our community. This is the kind of due diligence that we need to see. People who are ready to niche down, people who are ready to be specific, people who are ready to do the hard work of, yeah, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to do YouTube videos. I don't want to start a podcast, but what does my audience need? What do my clients need? What does my community need? Okay. And you don't have to show up on social media 59 times a day, not even 5 times a day. We teach an approach that's strategic, allows you to have free time. Y'all know we have free time, and we also get to work when we get to work, right? But that allows you to have free time and allows you to build a sustainable business working 20, 30 hours a week at most, right? And then when you get to scaling level and you can outsource some of that and create your standardized operating procedures and your curriculum around your marketing, around your finance, around your HR, around your contracting, around all of it, the more things that you can standardize within your business, the easier it is going to be for you to have more free time and more capacity to invest in diverse areas. But again, your business is your top revenue generator. Your business is your best investment. You are your best investment as a CEO. And I know you're like, I'm not even a CEO. Don't call me that. Ma'am, sir, I'm calling you a CEO. You are a visionary. You're a CEO. You are a leader. Just step into it. It starts in the spirit first. So you need to rework on your identity. You need to sit down and journal with yourself tonight and say to yourself, you know what? What those people told me in corporate America wasn't true. What my abusive uncle, whoever down the road, told me wasn't true. What my frenemy told me wasn't true. What the folks say in corporate America about me isn't true. You need to sit down with yourself and tell yourself that and have an identity shift, okay? And hopefully this video is the start of you having that identity shift, but it's essential, it's necessary, and our entire community needs for you to get this. Our entire community needs for you to get this. The entire community of African people across the entire world, collectively, when I think about it from a level of like the global collective of African people that are so talented, that have everything they need within them to create their own businesses and to create their own best life and create their own dream life and invest in themselves. Some are excellent with food. Some are excellent with finance. Some are excellent with art. Some are excellent with real estate. Some are excellent with engineering. Some are excellent with education, consulting, and teaching, and mathematics, and marketing, and writing, and storytelling, and illustrations. And we can go on, and pottery. My mom is an artist. She makes immaculate pottery. And I go back to my childhood and how she was always unafraid, and still is to this day, always unafraid to show her giftings. Because you can't, again, back to scriptures. How can you put out a light on a hill? A light on a hill has to shine, or else who's going to come to the light unless you're willing to allow your light to shine in public spaces? And I'm not saying go to like a concert hall and book a speaking engagement in person with 500 people. We are in the age of the digital age, digital marketing. I speak to thousands of people every day without having to set up some huge expensive event, because I believe in having high profit margins in my business. I believe in being intentional with my business. I believe in serving my community with my business. I believe that I have to get in public, even if I don't feel like it, even if I'm like, I just want to watch that Netflix show I was watching, which was literally what I was thinking before I turned on this camera. But I was like, Netflix ain't going to serve my community in this dire time of March 2025. Netflix isn't going to help my community right now. Me watching Netflix for another 30 minutes can wait. I can take 30 minutes of my day to speak to my people. I can take 20 minutes of my day to come and talk to you right now, to give you some hope and encouragement and to tell you to let the fear go. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Fear is like a drug, okay? Like you're so intoxicated with fear. You're like, fear is my best friend. I just need to be a little bit more afraid. I just need to hang on to this fear with all of my life. But I'm telling you, my brother, my sister, break it and let it go. Let it go. I don't know if you need to like do this with your hands to break it up, stomp on it, throw it out, whatever you need to do to let that fear go, because you are safe being seen. You are worthy of being seen. Not only that, but there are few people on this planet who have the experience that you have. We have been working with some truly phenomenal entrepreneurs, and it breaks my heart, the fact that our community has waited so long to put themselves out there. It's heartbreaking. It's mind-blowing to me. It's so heartbreaking. It's so mind-blowing, but I empathize with it. You know why? Because I understand who did that. I understand what systems were working against you. So you got to forgive yourself for that. You got to have grace with yourself for that and say, you know what? It may be a little late, but I'm on it. I'm right on time. Because maybe you needed all that experience to get to where you are today so that you could open up a school, so you can open up a curriculum, so you could open up a training academy, so that you would be able to serve people in different demographics across the world. Maybe that was the trajectory you had to take. Just like my trajectory took me at 16 years old, getting my STNA license in healthcare. What teenagers do you know that get healthcare certifications at 16 years old and get in their dream job within a few years? There's a hospital called Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio that I worked at. It was my dream job. Let me tell you why it was my dream job. Because I almost died in that hospital when I was 12 years old. And they took such great care of me for those 2 weeks that when I left the hospital, I had pneumonia and my lungs were shutting down. But I just remember just being cared for. The people were so caring. And I said, you know what? When I grow up, I want to do that for other people. And I did that for other people for 5 to 7 years. And it was one of the most beautiful things of my life because it taught me how to care for people in a business setting. It taught me how to empathize and care for you today. So the care and attention and intentionality and willingness to just work with you one-to-one, you and I right here, that comes from my healthcare background. Maybe I wouldn't be like that if I didn't spend those 5 to 7 years in healthcare from age 16 to 22. Maybe I wouldn't have even thought like that, right? So you're not too late, but notice that the Most High is intentional. At the same time of you being not too late, don't take any of this for granted either. Don't take the maze, the weaving circle, whatever it is that you've been in your career, in your work history, don't take that for granted. And if you have to write down all your accomplishments, do that. Starting from 1980, 1990, 2000, whenever you need to go back to when you were 18, if you need to go back to when you were 16, remember, my story starts at 16 when I think about my career. So whatever age you need to go back to and take inventory of everything that the Most High had placed in you, everything who allowed you to see and experience every position, every accolade, everything, all that inventory, take it down tonight, and I will see you in the next video. I will announce to you when the next cohort of Black Educators Amplified is open. Until then, you can see if there are any links in the description available for you. We have a few consultations available. We have a few one-to-one sessions available if you would like to apply, if you are serious about your leadership position, and if you are tired of corporate America manipulating you. If you are tired of being fearful and manipulating yourself out of the blessing, not just for you, but the entire community that's going to go before you. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video.